Hello everyone, welcome back in Arena World Education. Here we make mathematics easy and interesting. So we have started a very interesting topic in mathematics, that is statistics. So let us continue same topic in today's class. So yes, my mathematics army, get your weapons ready, pen in hand, notebook open, and it's time to conquer concepts. So let us start. If I talk about today's objective, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand the limitations of mean deviation and why variance and standard deviations are introduced. You will be able to learn the formulae and significance of variance and standard deviation. And you will be able to develop the ability to calculate variance and standard deviation for discrete and continuous frequency distribution. And finally, you will be able to solve tricky questions step by step, right? So let us start with quick recap. In our previous lesson, we have discussed about mean deviation, which is the average of absolute differences, or we can say deviations. So that is between each data point and a central value. We had already discussed central value can be mean or median, right? If I talk about mean deviation about the mean, so then this is your formula, right? And if we talk about mean deviation about the median, so then this was the formula. And xi is what? Xi means individual data points. X bar, this is the mean of the data. M stands for median of the data. And N is what? Number of observations. So I hope everybody is clear about these formulae and the process how we have calculated mean deviation about the mean and about the median, right? Now let us discuss what are the limitations of mean deviation. Mainly in previous lesson, we have discussed mean deviation and we have also learned how it measures the dispersion of data points from the central value, right? We have already discussed central value is what? It can be mean or median. Mean deviation has a limitation. What is the limitation? It does not fully account for the effect of extreme values in a data set. Moreover, since absolute values are used, we had already discussed the formula related to mean deviation about the mean or about the median. What we were taking the absolute values of that deviation. So it lacks some mathematical properties needed for further statistical analysis. Let us understand this limitation with the help of real life example. Imagine you are a coach training two groups of students for a 100-meter sprint race. Now, both groups have the same average time of 12 seconds, but the performance consistency differs, right? Look at this one. In group A, students finish between 11.8 seconds and 12.2 seconds. But in group B, time ranges from 10 seconds to 14 seconds, right? Although both groups have the same mean time, that is given, it was 12 seconds. But in group A, the students finished between 11.8 second to 12.2. You can see all the data set that is very, very close to the mean average, right? And look at group B. It has more variation in the performance. You can see group B. So times ranges from 10 second to 14 seconds. So as compared to group A, it has more variation in performance. So here variance and standard deviation. So they help quantify this difference. So let us discuss the solution. To overcome this limitation, variance and standard deviation were introduced, right? These measures not only consider the deviation of each value from the mean, but also give more weight to larger deviations, making them more reliable for practical use, right? So with the help of variance and standard deviation, we can overcome the limitation of mean deviation, right? Look at this one. When it comes to variance and standard deviation, variance is the average of the squared deviations from the mean, while what is standard deviation? Standard deviation is the square root of the variance, right? You can see in mean deviations, what we were discussing, we were taking the absolute value, but here we will take the square of deviations. Look at the formula. If I talk about variance, so this is a representation of variance and this is the formula. And if I talk about standard deviation, so standard deviation is what? Standard deviation is simply what? Square root of variance, right? So these are few important formulae. You have to remember all these formulae while solving questions related to variance and standard deviation, right? So it's time for practice. I hope everybody is ready for practice. Let us solve few tricky questions together. This is the first question. We have to find mean and variance for the given data. So total number of observations is equal to 8, right? Now, when it comes to mean, I think everybody knows about mean, and mean is represented by x bar. This is equal to what? Summation xi divided by n. N we have already calculated. N was 8. And what is summation xi? So we will add these all the observations, right? So what is the sum? This is 72, right? Now 72 divided by 8. This will be equal to 9. It means mean is equal to 9, right? This is very easy. Now, what is the next step? We have to find deviation from the mean. This is mean, so this is 9. So we have to find the difference of all xi's from mean, that is 9. So 6 minus 9, yes, this will be minus 3. 7 minus 9, it will be minus 2. 10 minus 9, it will be 1. 12 minus 9, it will be 3. 13 minus 9, it will be 4. 4 minus 9, it will be minus 5. 8 minus 9, it is minus 1. And 12 minus 9, it will be 3. When we were calculating mean deviation, what was the next step? We were finding the absolute value of these deviations. But here, in case of variance, what is the next step? We will simply find the square of all these deviations. So minus 3 square, it will be yes, plus 9, minus 2 square, it will be plus 4, 1 will be as it is, 3 square will be 9, 4 square will be 16, minus 5 square will be 25, minus 1 square is 1, and 3 square is 9. And what is the formula for variance? I have already written this one. You have to remember this formula. So to find variance, we need what? Sum of all xi minus x bar square. So this sum will be equal to 74. So now what is variance? Yes, this will be equal to 74 divided by n, and n is 8. So this will be equal to 9.25. So this is your required variance for given data. Calculating variance is very easy as compared to calculating mean deviation about the mean. In question number 2, we have to find the mean and variance for first n natural numbers, right? So if we talk about mean, so mean is what? Mean is equal to sum divided by number of terms. So here, number of terms are what? N. They are talking about n natural numbers. So sum will be what? Sum will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and so on up to n divided by n, right? And always remember, sum of n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 divided by 2, right? And in denominator, we are having n, so this will be multiplied with 2. If we cancel out this n, so we are left with what? N plus 1 divided by 2, and which is required mean. So this is your required mean. So first part is done. So now what about variance? So this is the formula. I have already written this formula. To find variance, we need xi minus x bar, right? So now let us substitute n plus 1 divided by 2 in place of x bar. So this variance will be what? Variance will be summation I equal to 1 to n, and it is xi minus x bar is what? X bar is n plus 1 divided by 2 whole square and whole divided by n, right? Here capital N means n natural numbers. They are talking about n natural numbers, right? So now look at numerator. It is a minus b whole square. So what we can do, we can write this as sigma I is equal to 1 to n. And first term will be what? It will be xi square minus 2 times xi into, yes, it will be n plus 1 divided by 2 minus 2ab plus b square. It is n plus 1 divided by 2 whole square, right? And the whole is divided by n. Now always remember sigma a plus b. This is equal to sigma a plus sigma b, right? So you can see numerator can be written as, yes, it can be written as sigma I equal to 1 to n xi square divided by n minus, you can see this 2 and 2 are cancelled out. We are left with what? N plus 1 divided by n, right? And this is what? This is a constant, n plus 1 divided by n. And we can write it as summation, yes, I equal to 1 to n xi. Always remember summation kxi, where k is what? K is a constant, can be written as k into summation xi. And that is the reason I have written n plus 1 divided by n outside, right? And what is the third term? You can see it is n plus 1 divided by 2 square, right? And whole divided by n. There is no xi. So this will be what? This will be n plus 1 whole square divided by 2 to the 4, and this will be 4n. And it will be simply summation I equal to 1 to n. So there is no xi. So this is simply 1 constant, right? Now summation I equal to 1 to n xi square, that will be equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus and so on up to xn whole square, right? What is x1? It is 1, x2 is 2, x3 is 3, because we are talking about first n natural numbers, right? So this is equal to what? This is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and so on up to n whole square. And always remember, what is the square of sum of first n natural numbers? This is simply n into n plus 1 multiply by 2n plus 1 divided by 6. So this one is very important formula. So what we will do, look at this one. This variance will be equal to what? This is equal to n into n plus 1 multiply by 2n plus 1 divided by, yes, 6. And n is already there, so this will be 6n. Right? Look at second term. It is n plus 1 divided by n and summation iota equal to 1 to n xi. We had already calculated this one. This is what? This is sum of first n natural numbers. So this will be equal to what? This will be equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Right? Now, what is the last term? Last term will be n plus 1 whole square divided by 4n. And look at this one. I is from 1 to n, and this is what? 1 is added n times. So this will be equal to n only. Now let us simplify this one. End and end will be cancelled out. We are left with n plus 1, 2n plus 1 divided by 6 minus, yes, this n and this n will be cancelled out. And we are left with what? N plus 1 into n plus 1. Yes, this will be n plus 1 whole square divided by 2. And last term is this n and this n is cancelled out. This will be n plus 1 whole square divided by 4. Now this will be equal to what? This will be equal to n plus 1 as it is 2n plus 1 divided by 6. And look at this one. These are the like terms. So after solving this, after taking LCM, we will get n plus 1 whole square divided by 4. Now variance is equal to what? If we multiply n plus 1 into 2n plus 1, we will get 2n square plus 3n plus 1 divided by 6. And second term will be, yes, n square plus 2n plus 1 divided by 4. Now if we take its LCM, so LCM of 6 and 4, it will be 12. 12 divided by 6 is equal to 2. So 2 to the 4 n square plus 6n plus 2. Right? And this will be what? 12 divided by 4. It will be 3. So this will be multiplied 3. So this will be what? Minus 3n square minus 3 into 2, 6n and minus 3. I think everybody is clear till this point. Now look at this one. 4n square minus 3n square. What we are doing, we are writing like terms together. So 4n square minus 3n square, this will be n square, and 6n plus 6n and minus 6n is gone, and 2 minus 3, it will be minus 1 and divided by 12, right? And this is what? This is your required variance for first n natural numbers. Calculation is lengthy, but question is very good, right? So you have to remember all these formulae, and step-by-step calculation will help you to get the correct answer, right? I hope everybody is clear. Now question number 3 is find the mean and variance for first 10 multiples of 3, right? I have already written first 10 multiples of 3. First one is 3, then 6, then 9, then 12, then 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Right? So if I talk about mean, so mean will be what? Mean will be equal to, yes, summation xi divided by number of terms, right? So it is what? It will be 3 plus 6 plus 9 and so on up to last term is 30 and whole divided by 10. Always remember there is a shortcut to find average of consecutive numbers. If we have to find average of consecutive numbers, so what we do, we take first and last term and divide it by 2. Means whenever you have to find average of some consecutive numbers, so what will be your answer? Simply take average of first and last terms. So here, what will be your mean? It will be simply 3 plus 30 divided by 2. And that is equal to 16.5. So 16.5 is the required mean of first 10 multiples of 3. Right? Now, second one is variance. If I talk about variance, so this is the formula, right? And x bar is already calculated. It is what? It is 16.5. So now we will find difference of each xi with 16.5. So 3 minus 16.5, yes, this will be minus 13.5. 6 minus 16.5, yes, this will be minus 10.5. Then 9 minus 16.5, yes, this will be minus 7.5. Then 12 minus 16.5, this will be minus 4.5. Then 15 minus 16.5, this will be minus 1.5. Then 18 minus 16.5, this will be positive 1.5. Right? Then 21 minus 16.5, this will be 4.5. Right? So now it will follow the previous pattern. After 4.5, it will be, yes, it will be 7.5. Then it will be 10.5 and last is 13.5. So you can see the pattern, right? Now we will find the square of these deviations from mean, right? So what is the square of minus 13.5? It is 182.25, right? What is the square of minus 10.5? It is 110.25. Then what is the square of minus 7.5? It is 56.25. And what is the square of minus 4.5? This will be 20.25. You're familiar with square of minus 1.25. It will be what? It will be 2.25. Now it is positive side. So now what we will do? First will be 2.25. Now 4.5 square. So this will be equal to minus 4.5 square. So we have already calculated this one. So it will be 20.25. Similarly, 7.5 square. So that will be equal to what? That will be 56.25. And what about 10.5 square? It will be 110.25. And last one will be 182.25. Now, what will be the sum of all these values? It will be 742.5. And what is the required variance? Yes, this will be 742.5 divided by, we are dealing with 10 multiples of 3. So n will be 10 and this is very easy. This will be 74.25 and this is your required variance for first 10 multiples of 3. I hope everybody is clear. Question number 4 is find the mean and variance for given data. Here xi is given and fi is also given. So you know to find mean, what is the formula? Yes, mean will be equal to summation fi xi and whole divided by summation fi, right? To find fi xi, let us multiply 6 into 2, 12, 10 into 4, 40, 14 into 7, 98, 18 into 12, yes, this will be 216. 24 into 8, this will be 192. And 28 into 4, yes, this will be 112. And 30 into 3, this is easy, this is 90, right? So now what is the sum of all these fi xi? This will be equal to 760. And if I talk about this fi, so what is the summation of fi? This will be 40. So now what is mean? This will be 760 divided by 40. And after solving, this will be equal to 19. And 19 is the required mean, right? Now coming to variance, first step is we have to find xi minus x bar. And x bar is what? It is 19. So what we will find? We will find the difference of each xi with 19. So 6 minus 19, it is minus 13. 10 minus 19, it is minus 9. 14 minus 19, it is minus 5. 18 minus 19, it is minus 1. Then 24 into 19, it will be positive 5. And 28 minus 19, it is 9. And 30 minus 19, it is positive 11. Now in next step, we will find the square of all these values. So minus 13 square, this will be positive 169. Minus 9 square, it will be 81. Minus 5 square, it will be 25. And minus 1 square, it will be 1. 5 square, it will be 25. And 9 square, it will be 81. 11 square, it will be 121. Right? Now, what is the next step? We will multiply each fi with xi minus x bar whole square. So 2 into 169, this will be 338. 4 into 81, yes, this will be 324. And 7 into 25, yes, this will be 175. 12 into 1 is simple, 12. 8 into 25, yes, this will be 200. 4 into 81, yes, this will be 324. And 3 into 121, yes, this will be 363, right? So what is the next step? To find variance, we will find sum of all these values, right? And this is equal to 1736, right? And now what is variance? Yes, variance will be 1736 divided by 40, and which is equal to 43.4, and which is your required variance for given data. I hope everybody is clear. Now let us discuss another question. Question number 5 is similar to question number 4. So I will recommend stop this video at this point and try yourself. Then you can check the solution. So in first step, yes, to find mean, we need fi xi. 92 into 3, this will be 276. 93 into 2, it is 186. 97 into 3, this will be 291. And 98 into 2, yes, this will be 196. Then 102 into 6, Yes, this will be 612. 104 into 3. Yes, this will be 312. And 109 into 3. Yes, this will be 327. Now to find mean, yes, what is the formula? It is summation fi xi divided by summation fi. So now what is summation fi xi? This is equal to 2200. And what is summation fi? This is simply 22. So to find mean, it is very easy. It is simply 2200 divided by 22, mean this will be equal to 100. So 100 is the required mean, right? This is very easy. Now to find variance, first of all, we need xi minus x bar. So what is x bar? We had already calculated. It is 100, right? So we will find difference of each xi with 100. So 92 minus 100, it will be minus 8. 93 minus 100, it will be minus 7. 97 minus 100, it is minus 3. 98 minus 100, it is minus 2. 102 minus 2, it is positive 2. 104 minus 100, it will be 4. And 109 minus 100, it will be 9. What is the next step? We will find the square of all these numbers. So negative 8, this square will be positive 64, negative 7, its square will be 49. Minus 3 square, this will be 9. Minus 2 square, this will be 4. And this will be again 4. 4 4 is a 16 and 9 square is 81. Now what is the next step? We will multiply each fi with xi minus x bar whole square, right? So now 3 into 64, yes, this is equal to 192. 2 into 49, this will be equal to 98. 3 into 9, yes, this is 27. 2 into 4, this is 8. 6 into 4, 24. 3 into 16, yes, this will be 48. Then 3 into 81, yes, this will be 243. Now, what is the sum of all these values? This will be 640. Now, what is the final result? Yes, variance will be equal to 640 divided by n. N is what? N is summation fi. That is equal to 22. This will be equal to 29.09. So 29.09 is required variance for given data. I hope everybody is clear. So fourth and fifth question. So they are similar. You have to be very, very careful while doing calculation. Calculation part is main, right? If you remember the formula, so then only calculation is left. And while calculating, you have to be very, very careful because you cannot use your calculator, right? In question number 6, we have to find the mean and standard deviation using shortcut method, right? Xi and Fi are given. And we know if we have to find mean, so simply mean is what? Summation Fi Xi divided by summation Fi. But here we have to find mean and standard deviation by using shortcut method. This is the formula to find mean by using shortcut method, right? And this is the formula to find variance. Standard deviation is what? We will find its square root. First of all, we will find yi, and yi is equal to what? It is xi minus a divided by h. So this is xi. What about a? So a is the value we will assume from given xi, right? To make our calculation easy, what we can do, we will choose a number which is at middle in xi. So that is a, right? When it comes to h, h is what? H is the difference in xi's. So look at this one. So each xi is differ by 1. So h will be 1, right? So now to find yi, what we will do, we will find difference of each xi with a and divide it by h. So look at first one. It is 60 minus 64 divided by 1. So that will be what? 60 minus 64, it will be minus 4 and divided by 1. So there will be no effect of 1. Here h is 1. So we will just check xi minus a. So what about second? 61 minus 64. So this will be minus 3. 62 minus 64, this will be minus 2. 63 minus 64, this will be minus 1. Then 64 minus 64, this will be 0. Then 65 minus 64, this will be 1. Now pattern will repeat. So we will just write 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the next step? We have yi and fi. So now we will find fi yi. Means we will multiply each fi with yi. So 2 into minus 4, this will be minus 8. 1 into minus 3, it is minus 3. 12 into minus 2, it will be minus 24. 29 into minus 1, this will be minus 29. 25 into 0, this will be simply 0. And 12 into 1, it is 12. 10 into 2, it is 20. 4 into 3, it is 12. 5 into 4, this will be 20, right? So now to find mean, we need summation fi yi. So what is the sum of this fi yi? This will be equal to 0. Now our calculation will be very easy. Now to apply this formula, only last thing, that is n is required, right? N is what? N means summation fi, right? And what is summation fi? It is 100. So what is n? N is equal to 100. So now let us apply this formula. So what is required mean? This will be equal to, what is a? A is 64, then plus summation fi xi is 0, and it is divided by n is 100 and h is 1. So this will be equal to what? This will be equal to 64. So 64 is the required mean. Now to find standard deviation, first of all, we will find variance, right? This is a formula to find variance. So then we will find its square root, right? So now we have calculated till this point, and to apply this formula, we need yi square. And this is your yi. So what is yi square? Yes, minus 4 square, it will be plus 16. Minus 3 square, it will be 9. Minus 2 square, it is 4. Minus 1 square, it is 1. 0 will be as it is. 1 square is 1. 2 twos are 4. 3 threes are 9. And 4 fours are 16. Right? In next step, we need fi yi square. Means we have to multiply each fi with yi square. So 2 into 16, this will be 32. 1 into 9, this will be 9. 12 into 4, this will be 48. 29 into 1, this will be simply 29. 25 into 0, it is 0. 12 into 1, it is 12. 10 into 4, this will be 40. 4 into 9, this will be 36. And 5 into 16, this will be 80. Now to apply this formula, we need summation fi yi square. So what is the sum? This will be equal to 286. So now look at this formula. We need h. H is already calculated. It is 1. N is 100. So now fi yi square, this is equal to 286. And summation fi yi, that is equal to 0. Right? So we have calculated all the required terms. So now what is variance? Variance will be h square. H is 1. So 1 is as it is. And this will be 100 square. And look at this one. Next, n is 100. So 100 into, yes, it is 286. Minus, this we have already calculated. This is 0. So 0 square is 0. So now if we simplify this one, so 100 will be cancelled out and we will left with 286 divided by 100, right? It means variance will be what? Variance will be 2.86. Now, what is standard deviation? Yes, standard deviation will be equal to square root of variance, right? And that is equal to, yes, this will be equal to under root 2.86. After solving, you will get 1.69. And this is the required standard deviation. I hope everybody is clear. So calculation is lengthy and tricky. So you have to be very, very careful, right? Now let us solve another question. Question number 7. So here we have to find mean and variance for the following frequency distribution. So here you can see class interval is given and Fi are also given. So what is the first step? We will find Xi. And how to find Xi? It is very easy. We will find midpoint of this class interval. So what is the first midpoint? It is 0 plus 30 divided by 2. So that will be 15. Similarly, 30 plus 60 divided by 2, it will be 45. Then 60 plus 90 divided by 2, it is 75. Now you can see there is a difference of 30. So now what you can do, you can directly add 30 here. So it will be 105. Here it will be 135. Here it will be 165. And last will be 195. Now next step is Fi. So let us multiply each Fi with Xi. 2 into 15, yes, this will be 30. 3 into 45, yes, this will be 135. Then 5 into 75, yes, this will be 375. 10 into 105, yes, this will be 1050. And this will be 3 into 105, yes, this will be 405. 5 into 165, this will be 825. And 2 into 195, yes, this will be 390. Now we know to find mean. What is the formula? Yes, it is summation Fi divided by summation Fi, right? If we add all Fi, we will get 3210. If we add all these Fi's, we will get 30, right? So now X bar will be, yes, 3210 divided by 30. Required mean will be equal to, yes, 107. So 107 is the required mean for given data, right? So now we will find variance and formula is already given. So this question is very easy. What is the next step? We will find Xi minus X bar. So X bar we have already calculated. It is mean. So this is 107. Now we will find the difference of each Xi with 107. 15 minus 107, this will be minus 92. 45 minus 107, this will be minus 62. 75 minus 107, this will be minus 32. 105 minus 107, yes, this will be minus 2. Then 135 minus 107, this will be positive 28. 165 minus 107, yes, this will be positive 58. And 195 minus 107, this will be positive 88. Now, what is the next step? We will find square of each Xi minus X bar, right? So what is the square of minus 92, it will be 8,464. Now minus 62 square, this will be 3,844. Now minus 32 square, this will be 1,024. Minus 2 square, this is 4. 28 square, this will be 784. 58 square is 3,364. And 88 square will be 7,744. Right? Now, what is the next step? We will multiply each fi with xi minus x bar square. So you have to be very, very careful. Calculation is lengthy. So 2 into 8,464, this will be 16,928. Then 3 into 3,844, this will be equal to 11,532. Then 5 into 1,024, this will be 5,120. 10 into 4, this is very simple, 40. 3 into 784, this will be 2,352. 5 into 3,364, this will be equal to 16,820. And last is 2 into 7,744. This will be equal to 15,488. Now to find variance, we need sum of all these values. And what is the sum? It will be 68,280. Now let us apply the formula. What is variance? This will be equal to 68,280 divided by n. N is what? N is summation fi. So this is equal to 30. So n will be equal to 30. So what is the final answer? It is 2,276. So this is your required variance, right? If you need standard deviation, suppose in question you have to find standard deviation. So what is standard deviation? So that will be square root of 2,276, right? Let us move to another question. Question number 8 is same just like question number 7. So I will recommend stop the video at this point and try yourself. Then you can check your solution, right? So FIs are given. How to find XI? Yes, simply we find midpoint of given class intervals. So 0 plus 10 divided by 2, it will be 5. 10 plus 20 divided by 2, it will be 15. Then 20 plus 30 divided by 2, it is 25. Directly you can write remaining XIs. So 35 and 45, right? So then what is the next step? FIXI. So 5 into 5, this will be 25. 8 into 15, this will be 120. 15 into 25, this will be 375. Now 16 into 35, yes, this will be 560. And 6 into 45, this will be 270, right? Now to find mean, we need summation FIXI and divided by summation FI, right? So what is the sum of all FIXI? This will be 1,350, right? And what is summation FI? This is equal to N. This will be equal to 50. Now let us calculate mean. This will be equal to 1,350 divided by 50. And what is the final answer? It is 27. So 27 is the required mean. Now in next step, we will find xi minus x bar, that is 27, right? So mainly we will find the difference of each xi with 27. So 5 minus 27, yes, this will be minus 22. 15 minus 27, this will be minus 12. 25 minus 27, this will be minus 2. 35 minus 27, yes, this will be plus 8. And 45 minus 27, this will be 18. Now in next step, we will find square of all these values. So minus 22 square, this will be 484. Minus 12 square, this will be 144. Minus 2 square, this is 4. 8 square, this will be 64. And what is 18 square? This will be 324. Now we will multiply each fi with each xi minus x bar square. 5 into 484, this will be 2420. 8 into 144, this will be 1152. 15 into 4, it is 60. 16 into 64, this will be 1024. And finally, 6 into 324, this will be 1944. Now we need sum of all these values, and that is equal to 6600. Right? N is already calculated. Now what is variance? This will be equal to 6600 divided by 50. And what is the final answer? It is 132. So 132 is the required variance. Mean is 27 and variance is 132. Just like previous question, if you want to find standard deviation, that is what? That is simply square root of variance. So your answer will be under root 132. Right? So let us move to next question. In question number 9, we have to find mean, variance, and standard deviation, but using shortcut method. You can see class intervals are given, FIs are also given. Now, first step is to find XI. And how to find XI? This is simply find the midpoint of each class interval. 70 plus 75 divided by 2 will be 72.5. Right? Then 75 plus 80 divided by 2, this will be 77.5. You can see these frequency distributions are continuous and there is a difference of 5. Now to save time, we can write remaining xi's directly. So what will be the next value? It will be just add 5. So it is 82.5. Then it is 87.5. Then 92.5. Then 97.5. Then 102.5 and 107.5. Then last one is 112.5. To find yi, we need xi minus a. And a is what? To make our calculation very easy, we assume a as any mid value of xi. So that is 92.5, right? Now to find yi, h is required. What is h? Yes, h is the width of each class interval. So that is equal to 5. Or to find h, you can see the difference of each xi. So that is again 5. So h we have found, a is 92.5. Now let us find all these values. So what is the first value for yi? It will be 72.5 minus 92.5. That is equal to what? Minus 20 and divided by 5. So that will be minus 4, right? What is the next one? 77.5 minus 92.5. This will be minus 15 and divided by 5, this will be minus 3. Right? 82.5 minus 92.5, it will be minus 10 and divided by 5, this will be minus 2. Now you can see the pattern. Remaining values, you can directly write. Here, hard work is not required. Smart work is required, right? So what will be the next value? It is minus 1, then 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, right? In this way, you can write all yi. Now in next step, we need fi into yi. So these are the fi and we will multiply this with each yi. So 3 into minus 4, this will be minus 12. 4 into minus 3, it is again minus 12. 7 into minus 2, it is minus 14. 7 into minus 1, it is minus 7. 15 into 0, it is 0. And 9 into 1, it is 9. 6 into 2, it is 12. And 6 into 3, it is 18. 3 into 4, this will be 12. What will we mean by using shortcut method? Yes, it will be equal to A plus summation fi yi divided by summation fi, or you can write n multiplied by h. Now to apply this formula, we need summation fi yi. And what is the sum of all these values? This will be 6. Right? So this is a very small number. And what about summation fi? That is equal to n. N will be equal to 60. Right? Now, easily we can find mean. So mean will be equal to 92.5 plus 6 upon 60 multiplied by 5. Now, after solving, you will get your required mean, and that is equal to 93. Right? Now, we want variance. And for this, we need yi square. So this is yi. So let us find the square of each number. So minus 4 square will be 16. Minus 3 square will be 9. Minus 2 square will be 4. And minus 1 square will be 1. So now 0 square will be 0. 1 square is 1. 2 square is 4. 3 square is 9. And 4 square will be 16. What is the next step? We will find fi into yi square. So this is your fi. So we will multiply each fi with yi square. So 3 into 16, this will be 48. 4 into 9, this will be 36. So 7 into 4, this will be 28. And 7 into 1, it will be 7. 15 into 0, this will be 0. 9 into 1, this will be 9. 6 into 4, this will be 24. 6 into 9, it will be 54. And 3 into 16, this will be 48. Now to apply this formula to find variance, we need sum of all these values, and this will be equal to 254. So now easily we can apply this formula. So what is required variance? This will be equal to h square upon n square. H is 5. So 5 square will be 25 divided by n square. N square will be, yes, 3600. Right? So then n is 60. 60 into fi yi square, and that is equal to 254 minus, yes, so this is summation fi yi square. So this is mainly 6 square. After solving this, you will get 105.58, and this is your required variance. right? So now standard deviation is very easy. What is standard deviation? Yes, we will simply find the square root of given variance. So this will be square root of 105.58. And this will be equal to 10.275. And this is your required standard deviation. In this question, we have calculated mean, variance, and standard deviation, and by using shortcut method. I hope everybody is clear. So here mean is 93, variance is 105.58, and finally standard deviation is 10.275, or you can write 10.28, right? So let us solve question number 10. In question number 10, the diameters of circles are given, and we have to calculate standard deviation and mean diameter of circles, right? So you can see the class intervals. So they are what? 33 to 36, then 37 to 40. It means given frequency distribution is not continuous. So first of all, we will make it continuous. Look at the difference. After 36, it is directly 37. So there is a difference of 1. Now what we will do, we will divide this 1 in 2 equal parts and look at the lower limit. It is 33. So we will subtract 0.5 from 33 and we will add 0.5 in upper limit, that is 36, right? So here it will become 32.5 to 36.5, right? Similarly, look at next one, 37 to 40. 37 will become what? 37 minus 0.5. So this will become 36.5. You can see, right? And 40 will become 40 plus 0.5. So that will be 40.5. Similarly, look at third one, 41. Subtract 0.5 from this. It will be 40.5 and add 0.5 in 44. So it will be 44.5. So in this way, you can make given frequency distribution in continuous form, right? So now this question is very easy. FIs are given. First of all, we will calculate XIs. And what is XI when class intervals are given? Yes, we will find the midpoint. So look at first one, 32.5 to 36.5. What will be first XI? It will be 32.5 plus 36.5 divided by 2. So this will be equal to 34.5, right? Similarly, look at second, 36.5 plus 40.5 divided by 2. So this will equal to 38.5. 40.5 plus 44.5 divided by 2, this will be equal to 42.5. Now you can see the difference is of 4. So now directly you can write remaining 2 XIs. So they will be 46.5 and 50.5. Now in the next step, we will find YI. What is A? Yes, we will assume from given XI as A. And to make our calculation easy, we will assume this middle one as A, right? So this will be equal to A, right? And what about H? H is the difference in class intervals. So that is equal to what? That will be equal to 4, right? So we have calculated A, we have calculated H. So easily we can find YI. So YI will be what? XI minus A divided by H. So let us find first number. So here, what is first XI? It is 34.5. So 34.5 minus 42.5. Yes. So this will be equal to minus 8 and minus 8 divided by 4. This will be equal to minus 2. Now look at second one, 38.5 minus 42.5. This will be equal to minus 4 and minus 4 divided by 4. This will be equal to minus 1. Next one will be 42.5 minus 42.5. This will be 0. And after this, it will repeat the pattern. So it will be simply 1 and 2. What is next step? We will find FI, YI. So this is your Fi and these are your Yi. So we will multiply each Fi with Yi. 15 into minus 2, this will be minus 30. 17 into minus 1, this will be equal to minus 17. 21 into 0, this will be 0. 22 into 1, this will be simply 22. And 25 into 2, this will be 50. And what is summation Fi, Yi? This will be equal to 25, right? How to find X bar? Yes. What is the formula? So X bar will be equal to what? A plus summation Fi, Yi divided by summation Fi, or you can write it as N into H, right? Sum of Fi, or you can say N. N will be equal to what? N will be equal to 100. So now easily we can find X bar. X bar will be what? X bar will be equal to A is 42.5, then plus 25 upon 100 multiplied by 4. After solving, your required mean will be what? 42.5 plus 1. So this will be equal to 43.5. And this is the required mean diameter for given circles, right? So now we will find standard deviation. Before finding standard deviation, what we will do, we will find variance. And this is the formula to find variance, because standard deviation is what? Simply square root of given variance, right? So what will be the next step? In next step, we will find Yi square. So these are Yi and we will find square of every number. So minus 2 square, that will be 4. Minus 1 square, it is 1. 0 square, 1 square is 1. 2 to the 4, right? What is the next step? Fi into Yi square. Means we will multiply each Fi with Yi square, right? So 15 into 4, 60. 17 into 1, it is simply 17. 21 into 0, 0. 22 into 1, it will be 22. And 25 into 4, this will be equal to 100, right? Now to apply this formula, we need sum of all these values. So this will be summation Fi Yi square. And this will be equal to 199. Now look at this formula. This H is calculated, H is 4, N is 100. Now Fi Yi square, it is 199. It is calculated. Summation Fi Yi, we have already calculated, which is equal to 25. Now easily we can apply this formula. So let us find variance. Variance will be equal to what? H square. H square is 4 square. That is 16. So this is divided by N square. N square is 100 square. Right? So then we are having N. N is 100. 100 into summation Fi Yi square. So this is equal to 199. Right? So then minus, what is summation Fi Yi? This will be equal to 25 and we have to find its square. After solving, you will get variance will be equal to 30.84. And this is the variance for given data. But we need standard deviation. Standard deviation is what? Simply square root of given variance. So what is variance? It is 30.84. So we will find square root of 30.84. And what is the final answer? This will be equal to 5.55. And this is your required standard deviation for given circles, right? So if I talk about mean, so mean is what? Mean will be 43.5. And if I talk about standard deviation, so that will be 5.55. I hope everybody is clear. Questions are easy, but again, calculation is lengthy and tricky. Whenever you have to deal with decimals, so you have to be very, very careful, right? So this is all about your lesson number 2 related to statistics. And thank you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this session. And if you really enjoyed this session, then hit the like button and share this lesson with your friends for any type of query or any type of suggestion. You can use the comment section. And for more interesting videos, you can subscribe Arena World Education. And thank you guys. See you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.